Hello Antique and Garden Showcase friends, welcome back. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to take a look at mistakes and lessons learned about installing the formal garden last year. And the mistakes we're going to look at involve boxwoods. So I'm going to take you around front and we're going to take a look at what happened along the way there. And as always, if you have not subscribed to Antique and Garden Showcase, I would invite you to do so, because we're going to have lots more content coming out and explore the 2022 season on playlist and the playlist prior to that from where we first started. Glad to have you. Let's go take a look at the formal garden. So here's the formal garden for 2022, and I'm still working on getting the pansies out around the outside edge. Some of them are starting to give it up, as you can see right here. The heat's finally getting to them just a bit. I noticed one that was almost flat to the ground back here. Anyway, this bed was put together in the 2021 gardening season, and I put in winter gem boxwoods, and for the most part they did really well, as you can see, but I did have a spider mite issue, and that's strange for here. It happened on this one, and if I get in closer you can see some of the issues that happened there. It happened on this one, and then we lost this one. I had to replace this one just a week or two ago. I put a new one in here. So it's really bizarre that I had a very limited amount of spider mite damage in here, and I've got winter gem boxwoods everywhere. The three right there in front of the house are winter gem. The one up by the mailbox post right up there is winter gem. There's winter gems everywhere. None of them have ever had the spider mite issues. But I think the problem here was I jammed in too many flowers and too much vegetation around these and stressed the plants. Now let's take a look back at last year's garden. I want to put that up on the screen. You can see how much stuff I had in there. I had Vista Super Petunias, the white, in there. There were only 3 of them, but they pretty much engulfed all of these and, you know, almost smothered them out, but didn't. And I kept cutting them back, but it just did not help things out very much. So finally I had to end up putting a systemic spray on here. You can use whichever works best for you in your area. I did choose a synthetic because I needed to get in there and get the job done, because the damage was done at that point. But these have, the 2 right here in front have bounced back quickly, and I'm glad, because I would have hated to have had to replace 3 this year instead of just 1. So anyway, lesson learned here is do not jam in too much stuff, and that's why this year I've got the Super Petunia Vista Star, the mini Vista. That's just going to be in between each boxwood all the way around. And then I've got, once the daffodils die back, those will be cut out of there. And then I've got just the caladiums, 5 caladiums around through there. So that's airy and open. So that was the look I'm going for this year, is a lot more airy and open on this particular bed. I strongly believe sometimes too it has to do with where you buy your evergreens and shrubbery at. Now, I picked up all of those at a local hardware store at my local Lowe's, as I did the weeping blue spruce, the blues, back here. And the thing about it was, last year, 2021 gardening season, it was hard to find the things that you were looking for. And I looked everywhere for a weeping white spruce, was what I wanted for the driveway island. Couldn't find it. And I was at a Lowe's in my neighboring town of Lexington last year, and there was a pallet of trees come in, and this poor little weeping blue spruce behind me there over my shoulder was in the middle of a pallet, jammed in, just soaking wet with things pressed up against it. But I happened to see it in there, and I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. That's the accent type plant that I would like to have, the shape that I would like to have in here. I didn't know I was bringing home an issue with it as well, but I am very thankful, as always. Garden Answer seemed to come through right at the right time for me again, because they were talking about trees and some problems they had and applying a copper fungicide to take care of an issue. And when I was listening to that conversation, I thought, that's what I need to do to that spruce tree. And I looked it up. Sure enough, it had a needle fungus on the tree, and I'll show you what happened there. And I kept doing the bonide copper fungicide all year, and it's coming out really nicely behind me. Let me flip the camera and we'll take a look at that. So as you can see, the driveway island, I've started working on it just a bit here, putting in a few things on this end. I've done a few things on the opposite end down there, and this camera does not want to focus right sometimes. New equipment, you got to get used to it. But anyway, this is a weeping blue spruce called the Blues. It's the one I found at Lowe's in the center of a pallet. And like I said, it was jammed in there and it was soaking wet. I don't know how long it had been that way in shipping, but it looks great from this side. It looks great from all sides now, but you can still see the remnants of the issue I was talking about back here very vaguely. If we look in here, you can see these darkened needles and that one stem there that's almost needle-less. And some of these are looking a little strange right there on the side. But it did have a needle fungus, and you can see that underneath of there. But I did apply copper fungicide to that last year, and you could tell almost immediately that it was knocking that out of there. And from a distance on all sides, everything's looking really good now. And that was what I was hoping, was to see new growth come out this year and a nice healthier looking tree. And that's what we got. I just restaked this the other day, straightened it up, and waiting for the new growth to come out and fill out. I am going to label this section of the driveway island. This is going to be Laura's Corner. That's the colors, because these are the Tickle Me Pink caladiums that were featured on Laura's Container Gardens 2, or Your Container Gardens 2. I always get that mixed up. But I had them with Dichondra Silver Falls, and I liked that blue color with them, and I thought the blue spruce, the Tickle Me Pinks, that's gonna look really nice together. So I did that, and I put the Portulaca purslane in red, which is a proven winners here. It will spread throughout and give a nice mounding red color in there. I did use that one last year, so if you go back and look at some of the fall pictures or fall videos from last year, you will see that particular plant in bloom. It lasts all the way through to the first freeze at the end of the season. So going down through here, I tied all of the daffodils. I still have 2 pots in the middle. This is going to change pretty soon. I am going to actually up this to 5 across. I'm going to do the odd number thing here, because I like 1 in the center, 2 offset to each side. I think that's going to look great. What I'm going to do is that Burmese sunset is the theme for this year. So there's going to be a pink canna, and then there will be a red one by it, and then it will go to the Cleopatra, which is the reddish yellow orange blend right in the middle, and then it will go backwards on the other side, red to pink. So on this end, I used a white purple, which is kind of like under the clouds. You know, you see that white purple look in a sunset. I used the Vista Jazzberry, and then I used the other Vista, the white one with the pink center. That name is eluding me right now. I'll put it on the screen if I can't think of it before this is over. Anyway, more tied up. Gosh, the daffodils just did wonderful in here from Color Blends. And then this is a little quick fire hydrangea that rounds out this last corner here. So you can kind of get the idea as I back up. This is the driveway island. It takes up a great big space as you come in our driveway, which is really nice. It's kind of a nice break there. Well, friends, I know this is probably going to be a very short video today for a Saturday, but I hope you found something here that you like, some inspiration. And I actually did enter the driveway island on Garden Answer again to see if they would pick that one up and use it as one of their flower beds, because they did have the opportunity to send some stuff in the other day on Google, I noticed. So I did it. I thought, might as well try again. Glad to have you here. Like, subscribe, and leave me comments. I always love hearing your comments. As always, thank you for watching Antique and Garden Showcase. We'll see you back here soon. Bye.